So a couple days ago, y'all know how the Heat played the Lakers. We won by 1 point. But the game was pretty expected, I'd say. I mean, you had Anthony Davis get hurt. What's new? You had the Heat blow a double-digit fourth quarter lead against something that's not new at all. But there was something completely unexpected that happened earlier in the day prior to the game. And it was O.J. Simpson, yes, the O.J. Simpson, accurately predicting exactly how the game would go.
At this stage, who do you like better, Anthony Davis or Bam Adebayo? Who would you rather have on your team?
So I'm going with Bam because I like tough. I mean, Bam is tough, man, and I like tough.
Okay, so he didn't actually predict anything about the game, but he did say that he prefers Bam Adebayo over Anthony Davis, which I think after their last matchup leaves no room for debate whatsoever. But this is something that I think Heat fans have known for a couple years now, and nobody in the national media would ever admit any such thing. Not that O.J. Simpson is national media. I have no idea what he's up to nowadays. I guess it's knowing ball on the internet. But no national media would ever say that Bam is better than Anthony Davis, mostly just because they don't watch Heat basketball. I mean, in their matchup just a couple days ago, Bam Adebayo had 22 points, 20 boards, 10 assists. And we're not talking no easy assists, putting out to a shooter in the corner, simple driving kicks. We're talking half-court bounce passes to Jaime Jaquez, finding Duncan Robinson swirling around on cuts. His vision is phenomenal, particularly to Duncan Robinson. I mean, we all know about those DHOs they've had for the last couple years, finding Duncan on the threes, and they kind of, Bam keeps screening, tossing to Duncan. But now Duncan Robinson, his improved game is making him go everywhere on the court, and Bam Adebayo continues finding him, and that's why Duncan's averaging 10 points per game this season. So that's been a really, really nice development as well. But back to Bam Adebayo. Defensively, he is the best defender in the entire NBA. I don't think that's debatable either. That's something I've said for a few years now. I mean, the last 2 years, you've had two of the most fraudulent DPOYs ever. You had Jaren Jackson Jr. and then Marcus Smart. Two guys that are on the Memphis Grizzlies, who the Heat play next. And the Memphis Grizzlies are currently bottom half of the league in defense. How do you have the last two DPOYs and you're not even top 15 in defense? It's because they're fraudulent. And I hope that Bam Adebayo finally gets some recognition for the defender he is, because I really, really want him to win that award because I think he deserves it. I thought in the years past, the Heat didn't do a great job marketing him, but they have started on their Twitter. They're now doing a thread of Bam Adebayo stops every game now. And I think that's awesome because, of course, that gets a ton of traction. And you have to start building campaigns for these awards early. You have to start now. You can't start in March because by then the media already has their narrative for who's winning DPOY, for who's winning MVP. So you got to start campaigning now. And I think the Heat have done a very, very great job of that. And there's been all kinds of great statistics about Bam's defense so far this year. I just got one of them up here. It says that guards this season are shooting 34.3% from the field when defended by Bam Adebayo. We're talking guards. Someone in the backcourt. Point guards or shooting guards are only 34%. And on top of that, Adebayo is holding opponents to 12.5% from the field in isolation situations. And as the tweet points out, he is the definition of a 1 through 5 lockdown defender. I mean, we hear John Crotty all the time, if y'all watch Bally Sports, say, oh, they're learning the Bam lesson. Anytime someone new tries to take Bam in isolation, they learn the Bam lesson, meaning they won't score. They'll get blocked. We saw Anthony Davis, who's all of 6'11", try to post up Bam Adebayo and fade away. He got blocked. Bam is truly a 1 through 5 defender, and I'm not sure how many of those are in the league anymore. Marcus Smart is not guarding big men. Jaren Jackson is not fast enough to keep up with guys on the perimeter. Or if he's even in the game and didn't foul out yet, which is the big question nowadays. He's only playing 25 minutes a night because he can't stop fouling people. Don't even get me started on Rudy Gobert, my most hated player in the entire league, winning DPOYs when he gets played off the court in the playoffs because of his defense. You put that man 3 feet outside the paint, he's worthless. He's a good shot blocker, not a good defender, and there's a difference. So I'm glad to see that Bam Adebayo is finally getting recognition, and I loved that on the biggest stage, national television, versus the Lakers, versus Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo showed out and showed the whole world exactly what he can do. And I just hope he can continue this. Because last season, he obviously made the All-Star team. Great first half of the year. Kind of tailed off to start the second half. So I hope he can keep continuing this level of play, because if he does, he truly raises this level of the Heat to championship status. I truly believe that. Even though he's been balling and they're only like, what, 3-4 now? That is concerning. But obviously Jimmy Butler pretty much has been terrible outside of the Lakers game. It was his first good game, and we know he doesn't care about the regular season anyway. So come playoff time, if you get playoff Jimmy and this Bam, then that's when I think that you really have a chance to make some noise. I do want to talk a little bit more about that Heat-Lakers game, even though it was a couple days ago. You had Eric Reed starting the game by saying the past versus the present, with LeBron James guarding Jimmy Butler. Am I alone here in saying that I think LeBron is still better than Jimmy Butler? Like, the past versus present doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I think I would trade Jimmy Butler for LeBron James today. I think LeBron James is the best player in the world. I understand he's likely not. That nod would probably go to Jokic. Some people say Giannis. I don't trust Giannis. Late game, fourth quarter. It'd probably go to Jokic or Curry or Luka, or whoever you want to say. But I just have my own personal rule. I'll never bet against LeBron. I still think he's at least a top 5, definitely top 10 player in this game. But I also just kind of think he's Jimmy Butler, because in the same way, I think when the game matters most, there's not many people that I think can take over as good as LeBron does. But anyways, I just thought that was a weird thing for Eric Reed to say. What else do we got here? Jaime Jaquez, rip LeBron. That was exciting. Jaime looks awesome, man. Outside of shooting threes, he looks really great at everything else. We see him attack the rim. We see him do his beautiful footwork post-game, which y'all know I love. If y'all can see back here, I got my guy Hakeem Olajuwon, one of my favorite player of all time. Why? Because I got a foot fetish for the footwork. I've said that a couple times on this channel. And the Basement Post-Game Sports Network post-game show for Heat Lakers a couple days ago. I was on there. It was hilarious. So make sure y'all go check out the Basement Post-Game Sports Network for post-live reaction coverage of every game this year. And I'll be attending probably like 70% of those post-games. So make sure y'all go check that out. But Jaime Jaquez looks awesome when he's not shooting the ball. I really like that story of Thomas Bryant when he was calling for the ball when LeBron was going for the scoring record last year. Very, very bad IQ. Thomas Bryant didn't play great yesterday, even though he did pack LeBron. But it's clear that maybe he still has some love for the Lakers, so I'll let it slide. I wanted to bring that up because people were giving Thomas Bryant crap yesterday. He's still worlds better than Dwayne Dedmon and Cody Zeller, so I'm not going to complain about Thomas Bryant. But a very, very frustrating part of the game was once again the end of the game, the late game execution, in which they blew a double-digit fourth quarter lead for like every game this year, I guess, unless they were down. I think I just saw a stat that the Heat have the worst fourth quarter net rating of all the teams in the league. They are 30 of 30, which is not surprising because, like I just said, they're blowing leads every fourth quarter. The reason that's frustrating is because you don't expect that from a veteran team. You don't expect that from a team that has Jimmy Butler, a guy you can just give the ball to and say, hey, go get a bucket. You don't expect it from a team that has the prototypical point guard, veteran QB quarterback, Kyle Lowry. You don't expect that from him. But what was the Heat's final possessions with your floor general Kyle Lowry out there? It was a terrible Jimmy Butler no ball movement 3, followed by a Kyle Lowry terrible no ball movement 3, followed by a Tyler Herro terrible no ball movement 3, followed by a Bam Adebayo travel. All of that was in the midst of the Heat not scoring a single point for the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds of the game. And the only point they had before that was a Jimmy Butler free throw off a technical foul. How is the late game execution so bad for a team that has so much experience, that's been to the NBA Finals twice, that has, everyone says Kyle Lowry, oh, he can't score anymore, but he's got high IQ. His IQ sucks. And he better not be on this team by the time the trade deadline ends. He better not be. Why he's out there instead of Haywood Highsmith, I don't know. And y'all know I'm not a fan of Haywood Highsmith. Or should I say wasn't. He's been balling to start the season. He is making me change my mind a little bit. And if he continues to do so, I told y'all, I will have a Haywood Highsmith apology video up at the end of this season. But the late game execution stuff is very frustrating if you're the Heat. And a lot of it is because I feel like it's self-inflicted. Because again, they're not even trying to move the ball. They're not even trying to get good shots. That's all on them. That has to change. And I'm glad they won, because now if they do beat a Memphis Grizzlies team next game, who is only 1-6 right now, they're able to finally get to 500, and hopefully they can build upon that so they don't dig themselves a giant hole just like they did last season. Spend all regular season trying to get out that hole, and then you end up in the play-in game, because I desperately want to avoid the play-in game. Another positive, though, to bring it back around, is Tyler Herro, who was pretty great last game. I'd say didn't shoot super great, but he did have like 22, 5, and 5. So I love to see that he's continuing to do other things if he's not scoring the ball. Now, this was a big game for him too, because a lot of people compare him to Austin Reeves, who did score one more point than him. And yesterday, when I was thinking about how I wanted to do this video, I was going to say, yeah, Reeves technically outscored him, but Herro still had 5 points and 5 assists. And then I checked the Lakers box score, and Austin Reeves had like 10 rebounds and 9 assists. I feel like he does it very quietly, which is the sign of a good player. I mean, if you look at Jimmy Butler, he had 28 points, and I just feel like he was good, but he still led the Heat in scoring. And then you look at a guy like Tyler or Bam, you feel like they played amazing, and they only had like 22 or 23 points. If that makes sense, you just feel like great players have a tendency to be quiet and put up numbers, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure y'all get what I'm trying to say. And obviously that's what Jimmy Butler is. But regardless, I don't want to compare Reeves to Herro. Reeves very well may be better. I don't think he is. But if you go based off the last matchup, if I'm going to go based off the last matchup and say Bam is better than AD, I have to say Austin Reeves is better than Tyler Herro. I mean, more points, more rebounds, more assists. And on the season as a whole, he scores I guess he don't score as many points, but you get he doesn't have as big an opportunity, but his efficiencies are a lot better. People may say Reeves is the third best player on his team, Tyler's the third best player on his team, but we know that Tyler gets the most shots per game because Bam can be passive or unselfish. Jimmy, we know, is passive in the regular season. And on the Lakers, it's always going to be LeBron and AD taking the most shots there. So Reeves is sort of a true third option, and I feel like his numbers are comparable to Tyler Herro, given the circumstances. But regardless, that's all I want to compare those two players. I'm very happy with Tyler Herro's start to the season. I hope it continues. But he is 1-1 on what I'm calling the Tyler Herro revenge tour, because the game before was versus the Wizards. A lot of people compare him to Jordan Poole. He outplayed Jordan Poole. Game 2 versus the Lakers, Austin Reeves did outperform Tyler Herro. But then in the next game, we got Desmond Bane, who tons of Heat fans are comparing to Tyler Herro. And then after that, you got the Atlanta Hawks, who Tyler Herro himself said that he wants to be in the likes of Luka Doncic and Trae Young. So hopefully Herro can outperform those two guys at least. It'll make me feel a little bit better about him. But I do feel good about him, which again is weird because you know what you're going to get from Jimmy. If you would have told me that you get a great start to the season from Tyler and from Bam, I would have assumed the team would have got off to a much hotter start. But it is what it is. They haven't shot the ball from 3 great at all, outside of Tyler and I guess Duncan Robinson. Shout out to him. That boy's been hooping. But hopefully they can get a win versus a terrible Grizzlies team, be 500, and just never look back. I don't care if they finish 6th in the regular season, just miss the play-in. I don't want to make that at all. That's really all I got to say. They wore the jerseys again, this time with the new Heat Culture court. I absolutely loved it. People thought it was corny with the toughest, nastiest team in the NBA. You know their mantra. Maybe it was corny, which is maybe why I like it. I've been told I'm corny many times, especially after my Joe Cronin diss track. But that was mostly Portland fans, as I can say. I think that's all I got for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to help me get to 3K. And I'll see y'all next time.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.